Good morning. My name's Gene Berry, and I'm teaching Micro 460, 660 Pathogenic Microbiology this year. I told you in the announcement that I'd be posting a video from class, and as luck has it, the first day we had a total technology failure, and the system that's very cool didn't work. So there's no lecture. There really wasn't any lecture. You didn't miss anything. We just went over the syllabus. But I wanted to post this, see if we can make this work, and go through just a couple little things with you as we're so at the start of the semester here, so you know what's going on. The syllabus should be fairly self-explanatory. The couple of things that I want to emphasize, so with the grading, 3 exams during the semester and have dates on there. The exams will be given on those dates, except that you will take it online. You can do it from any computer you'd like, as long as you can log into Blackboard. The exam on those dates for you will be available for during the entire day, so you won't have to be in a certain spot at 10 o'clock or anything. But you will only have 50 minutes or 1 hour to do the exam. So it'll be exactly like a regular in-class exam, only you're doing it online. As you see, the 3 exams, each is worth 100 points. The final is going to be comprehensive, and I will define for you at the end of the semester what I'd like you to specifically study for that. And that's worth 200 points. 10 quizzes, each worth 10 points. The quizzes will be probably 10 to 20 questions. And the whole point of the quizzes is really to force you to go look at the material and think a little bit about it each week. The quizzes will be spread out, but basically we'll have a quiz every week except those weeks where we have exams. There will also be 5 case studies that I'm going to ask you to do. Those will be short descriptions of an infectious disease, maybe an individual or an outbreak or something. You'll be asked, be given some information, asked a few questions. Probably those questions will lead you to more information, then you'll get a few more questions. And all that will be done online. I'm hoping that it'll be sort of like digging, you know, kind of digging down in order to get the information to the final answer. I will give you very detailed instructions on how to do those when we get near that. The first one will probably be in a couple of weeks. Oh, and the first quiz will be next week, the end of next week. The other thing that I'm asking you to do is to participate in class, and by doing that, I mean online. There are going to be some discussion board questions. And I'm going to ask that you each participate in at least half of those. And by participation, I mean contributing comments, questions, etc. If you just type, you know, yes or no or something, that's hardly participation. But if you, you know, really just make a comment, make your opinion known or something. An example might be we might discuss the ongoing controversy of whether vaccines are safe for kids. Those kinds of things. But really just to get you to look a little more depth at information on disease-causing microorganisms. So there'll be 750 total points available. We'll just use the 90, 80, 70, 60 breaks for grades. I certainly will reserve the right to change that, but change it only in your favor, not to make it harder to get an A. So it's if the grades seem low to me, then I might drop the A's down to, you know, 88 or something %. I doubt that will happen, but just in case. The course material, there is a textbook. It is the first edition and the only edition of the book. Came out last year, or actually came out in 2010. Written by a dad and looks like 2 daughters, I think, which is kind of amusing. I think it's a very good book, and it's organized around the diseases of systems. And so we'll try and organize our class mostly in that way when we get to those kinds of conversations. The other course content will all be done on PowerPoint. I'm sorry, well, PowerPoint, and I meant Blackboard. Post PowerPoint presentations ahead of time. Starting tomorrow, there will be a PowerPoint presentation posted for Friday's lecture. I probably will also give you some things that I think you should be reading in the book for next week. Excuse me. And then there may be occasionally a page or two of notes, sort of additional information that I think you should have. Now, just looking at the PowerPoint and those notes really will not suffice. I think you really will need to watch these little lectures that are going to put on. While it may seem weird in an online course, I'm not really sure, but it's going to be the best way to get explanations on some of the information. This is a course that's taught through the College of Agriculture, Food Systems, and Natural Resources at NDSU, and as such is on the honor code. So there will be ways for you to have to identify that you haven't cheated in any way. If cheating is suspected, then some consequences will occur, and that'll depend on the situation. And if anybody needs any special needs, has any requests of any kind, please let me know as soon as possible so we can make sure we have the appropriate accommodations. The last course outline on the last page of the syllabus really just is a rough idea of what we're going to be talking about through the semester. The first third, approximately third of the semester, will be fairly generic, general information about pathogens, about host defenses, how these organisms cause disease, what's the difference between, say, bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites, things that you probably have a pretty good handle on already, but making sure everybody's in the same place. And then the last 2/3 of the semester really will be looking at specific pathogens and the disease they cause. Again, we'll probably try and organize it much as the book is, and that is around system. But for the most part, we'll be looking at, say, Staph aureus causes these kinds of diseases. What are the problems associated with that? And at the end of the semester, assuming that we have time, we'll take a look at 4 specific problems in a little more detail: tuberculosis, hepatitis, HIV, and malaria. These are probably the 4 largest infectious disease problems in the world today, infecting hundreds and hundreds of millions of people, causing the loss of probably tens of millions of lives every single year. And so we'll take a special look at those, because they, in many ways, are great models to talk about for pathogens, but also because they're extremely important in today's world. So that's just like a really fast run through the syllabus. If you have questions, please email me. I will set up a discussion board here later today that's just basically 4 questions. So if you have questions, and unless it's something really a personal issue of some kind, what I would ask is that you post it to the discussion board, and then I can answer it, and then anybody can see the answer. So several of you have asked the same kinds of questions already, and so we might be able to cut down on the email traffic. I also will, starting next week, I will figure out a time, a couple of times at which I will be online. I'll make sure that I'm available, and maybe could even set up a chat room or something in Blackboard. I'm not quite sure. I've never done that, but so that I'm available for questions in case somebody has them. I realize probably early on there won't be too many, but as we get near a test, there certainly will be more questions. Well, at any rate, Friday, the technology folks promised me that the system would be working, and so there should be a lecture coming on Friday. Look tomorrow for PowerPoint and some other information, and hope you have a good day. Take care.